that's happening today in honor of the Hour of Code Week that we spent doing lots of activities last week, learning about computers and technology and the field of computer science. We have some very special guests with us this morning. I'd first like to introduce Kate Ash from Senator Leahy's office, who's with us this morning. Welcome, Kate.
Good morning, good morning. How is everybody this morning? Wonderful. Thank you for the warm welcome. As your principal said, my name is Kate Ash, and I work for Senator Leahy. How many folks know who Senator Leahy is? Wow, great. Right you up here in front. Can somebody shout out who's Senator Leahy? Yeah. Somebody want to give me some help? Sure. He's a senator, right on. Great teamwork, guys. Thanks for that. So Senator Leahy is a United States senator, and some of our fifth graders had the chance to do a school chat with him last week, where he actually got to announce part of the big announcement today for your Hour of Code. So he asked me to also come here this morning and celebrate with you all, and thank you for the invitation to be a part of your day. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass the mic back, but just say thank you, and we had so much fun chatting with you fifth graders last week, so congrats again on today. Thank you, Kate.
The other special guest that we have here this morning actually isn't physically here, but we have her in Google Hangout. And that is Rebecca Holcombe, who is the Secretary of Education from the Vermont Agency of Education. Welcome to Chamberlin School, Rebecca.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be there virtually. Can you see me?
We can.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to come and celebrate an Hour of Code Week with you. That took place all last week, and you know it was a national event, but it was also an event here in Vermont with many schools that took part last week, to raise awareness about the importance of learning to code and learning how to be comfortable online in a virtual world. I want to give a special shout out to Senator Leahy, who's really supported us and our schools in Vermont in terms of making sure all of our schools have access so that we can even do this kind of work. So thank you, Kate, for being here to represent him since he couldn't make it today. I wanted to start with a little story because I think to me it helps understand how important coding is and how important it is to be comfortable online in the new virtual world that we're really creating, both here in Vermont and nationally. I was speaking to someone yesterday from Vermont whose son had moved to Japan, and when she went there, she tried to go grocery shopping, and she found she couldn't make her way around because she couldn't read the letters, she couldn't even figure out what was in the packages. And I share that because coding is kind of like Japanese in that it's a language. And if you don't know the language, you can't work your way around the world online. And I give you another example. I was speaking to a ninth grader in a career tech center, and he was working on programming a robotic mechanical arm. And I asked him what he thought was the most important thing he learned. And I thought he was going to tell me it was about coding, but what he actually said, he looked at his mechanical arm, and he said, I realized that people used to do the work this machine does, and now people write programs that make this machine do the work. In the whole world of work that you're entering and the whole world that we work in as students is changing, and it's moving from this physical world in many cases to being online. And if you can't program, it's difficult to understand that world. It's difficult to understand how to manipulate that world to do the things that you want to do, both in learning but also in work beyond. So I think those are just two examples of why the kind of work you did last week is so important, not just in 1 hour of coding in 1 week, but really we're hoping that schools like Chamberlain can help us make coding and this kind of STEAM work part of what we do in schools across the state all the time. So I'm really pleased to be able to recognize the work you did last week, and I want to thank Collie Flickinger, the librarian, for helping to coordinate this work. But also, we're really proud that you were able to connect with schools all across the state, including some of the schools that have been involved. We know that the Canaan schools were doing coding last week, Dorset School, the North Country Career and Tech Center, Marlborough School, Chamberlain, the Flynn School, Marion Cross School, so really schools in every corner of the state tried to be part of this to help raise awareness here and then nationwide about how important this work is. I also want to just give a nice shout out to Lucy Labriere, who's helped to orchestrate and connect and coordinate with all these schools and the Think About Code website that help raise awareness statewide. And also thank some of our partners. I know xmemory.com, dealer.com, the Blue House Group. These are local businesses that helped either by supporting this work financially or coming in and sharing their professionals to come into schools or connect to schools virtually so they could see how important this work is. Please keep this up on our behalf, and thank you so much for being part of this exciting initiative.
Thank you, Secretary Holcombe. We really appreciate this.
Thank you. By the way, in case you didn't see it, notice what's up on the wall behind me. Some of you may have figured out that that's a code. And that was put together by Morgan Eklund here at the agency because he has an important lesson. So for those of you who like coding, see if you can figure out what that code means.
We'll work on that.
It's a shift-free code.
Huh. Any ideas?
It might take you a little while. It's a shift-free code with an important message. You can think about it later on in the day.
Okay, we will. Thank you very much. We'll write that down and we'll work on it. All right, so boys and girls, now what we're going to do is we're going to share some of the work that you've done during the week, and we're going to share some student reflections from every grade level. I'm going to start with kindergarten.
We learned that you have to keep trying even when it's very hard. If we made a mistake, we just made a plan and kept working at it. You have to agree on the same plan, and that was hard. You have to work together. In kindergarten, we were engineers and we tried our best to build gumdrop towers that were taller than a plastic cup. We had rules and we could only have 30 toothpicks and 30 gumdrops.
Thank you.
And you might notice the gumdrop towers are up here on the stage.
Now in first grade, Bryce is going to share.
The computer program helps me think. It's cool that you get to control the computer and you have to think to get past the obstacle. It's like that. You have to put in the block in the right order so things don't get messed up. This is just like what we do in our classroom. In first grade, we made happy maps. We played puppy adventure on the computer. We followed instructions called an algorithm. We learned that program means you have to move certain blocks to make the puppy get to his water dish. In In second grade, we practiced controlling one another like a computer. We played a game called Move It, and controlled our friends by using directions with our hands. Then we played Maze Sequence on the computer, where the angry bird had to find its way to the pin. I learned that we had to listen and take logical steps to get where we wanted to be. Sometimes it was hard, but we all stayed the same and thought about it. And then we had to trust that it would work out. Computer programming is challenging and gets your brain working stronger and makes you think a lot. Third grade did computer programming by using a program called Scratch. We first followed codes from activity cards and made our sprite move and do lots of creative things. Then we had a chance to have fun and create our own code. We learned how to program characters to do certain things. For example, to make sounds, change colors, and talk to each other. We could even write stories. Hour of Code was really cool because we got to experience how you can program a computer to do lots of things. It was kind of easy, but there were times when this was challenging. We asked for help from our friends, and we thought about it differently and made changes. Now we'd like to create games and keep programming the computer more than we did this week. All third graders are part of what we created.
Coding is fun and you get to build cool projects. You can figure things out logically and we learned a lot about trying to create code. I also like that we had a chance to be creative and if it didn't come out right, we could get support from our friends. It's one of the best experiences I've had at this school.
Fourth grade went on a website called CS First and then to a program called Adventures on High Seas. We used Scratch to create dialogue and movement with sprites, which are characters that we invented. We were able to create our own worlds. We gained a lot of self-confidence and had fun while learning. I liked Hour of Code because I learned how to problem solve, design a project, and communicate ideas using a computer. That's computer science. We all helped each other when we were stuck and came up with different strategies. We had to think a lot, be very creative, and have lots of fun.
We went to the CS First website and learned computer science ideas using the program Scratch, where we created scenes and animation.
Thank you, boys and girls. And now we have a very special presentation by our superintendent, Mr. Young, who has a really incredible award to give our school. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Young right now.
Thank you, Mrs. Quickinger. So I do have a special award, but first I want to just say how proud of you, how proud of all of you I am around all of your hard work. So I understand that you've been working hard, figuring out and problem solving together on figuring out ways to make the computer work for you. Is that right? Pretty amazing, right? You're working hard together to tell the computer what to do. All of that work, I want you to keep continuing to do. But today I have a special award, and I'm going to ask Mrs. Quickinger and Mrs. Corsell and Ms. Ruel to come on up here so I can present this check. Normally the checks aren't this big, right? Normally those checks that you see maybe from moms and dads are a little bit smaller, but we made it big so you can all see it. And it has quite a few zeros after it too. So look at that, $10,000. So you can keep doing some of those really smart things and keep working hard. So I'm really proud of you, and I know all of your teachers and your principal and your moms and dads are all proud of you too. So thank you very much, and keep up the hard work. This is Dowd.
Thank you, Mr. Young. And the Chamberlin School Technology Committee is going to make some wonderful decisions about how we spend this $10,000 to bring even more technology to Chamberlin School. I also want to thank somebody, because without Mrs. Flickinger, our hour of code activities and our wonderful check for $10,000 would not have happened. So Mrs. Flickinger, we want to thank you for such an amazing week, and we know that you're going to continue working on coding with our students all year long. Thank you.
So $10,000 is a lot of money. So we're really going to think hard to see, I don't know, do we get more laptops? Do we get more iPads? We don't know, so we're going to meet and figure it out to see what's going to work best to help you become the best learners you can in math and science and literacy and with the new science. So we'll really work hard at getting the best things for you. But we've had an opportunity to participate in Hour of Code all last week, and it was lots of fun, and everybody had a really great time. And I was pretty amazed, as were some of your teachers, on how much you used your critical thinking skills and problem solving to work as an engineer and a computer programmer. So these coding skills that you're learning are really critical thinking skills and thinking logically. And they're all the things that you do every day, whether it's math or science or social studies or literacy. So we want to keep using those, and just remember that you are all engineers. So congratulations, boys and girls.
On how to exit the gymnasium. Have a great Monday, everyone.